Okay, hello everyone, we are back. Apologies for the issues that we had on the last live. We had a few audio problems, but hopefully you can all hear me okay now. If you could just pop a thumbs up or a yes in the comments to let us know that you can hear me, that would be fabulous. But we're going to start from the top so that you don't miss out on anything on today's live. So, do you want me to cover the masterclass again, Andy? I'll cover the masterclass again. So the first thing I want to mention is, of course, our heat printing global masterclass, which is happening on. There's a slight delay on the audio. The global masterclass is happening in just over a couple of weeks. It's going to be the biggest global heat printing education event of the year. We've got everyone over in the US at Styles involved. Obviously, we're Styles UK. We've got Velflex in Australia joining us. We've got brands like Bella Canvas coming on to help with the blanket apparel side of things. And there's going to be so many educational talks from heat presses to trends to fabrics to troubleshooting to pricing, all of these different things to help you profit and grow as a heat printing business. So I really recommend that you attend that. But first, I think actually, Beth, can you please pass me the box that I moved out of the way the first time around? Thank you. So this right here is one of our heat printing print-along kits. So if you are attending the event, I really do recommend you get some of these. I believe they are limited, so I'd get one sooner rather than later. But basically, these mean that you can print along with us at the event. So there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek as to what to expect. So we've got a little bag in here, so you'll be able to learn how to heat print onto different types of accessories like these. Different print locations, obviously there's lots of difficult zips and padding in here, so that's a good one. We've got a plain black t-shirt in here. There is a nice sweatshirt, so there's going to be lots and lots more in this kit, including transfers and a few other nice garments as well. So you can choose along with us at the Global Masterclass. So if you do want one of these, then head on to the links in the description and you can get them for yourself. But let's move on to the actual reason for today's live event. Okay, so we are Styles UK. We are the leading heat transfer educator in the UK, and we're also part of the world's leading heat transfer education group, the Styles Group. So today we're going to be talking you through how to create products with custom heat transfers
and what it takes to make them. This will include our screen printed heat transfers, our digital hybrid transfers, and the one that everyone's talking about at the moment, DTF or direct to film heat transfers. So the right transfer is what takes a product from being good to being great. And today's live is definitely one for those looking to be the best in their business, to really level up and grow and be a successful and profitable printing business. So if you are currently printing with heat transfers, let us know in the comments what transfers you're using, which type, how you find them, and if you are completely new to heat printing, also let us know and we can help you out with getting started as well. So let's get started with the different types of heat transfers that are available. So I have a pre-fused one from the live that we did 5 minutes ago. So this is a screen printed heat transfer. So these are otherwise known as Plastisol heat transfers for any of you that have been printing for a while. They are made onto white paper, which I have an example of here. So the transfer goes from looking something like this to something like this. Now, these are typically made with between 1 and 3 colours. You can have up to 5, but from a cost point of view, I think 3 is better. So yes, 1 to 3 colours. There's no blends or gradients in these. We'll get onto that in a second. But these are a fantastic quality transfer. They give a really soft, thin finish. And let's show you how to fuse one now. So I'm going to use the back of the t-shirt that I have already printed on because, you know, we won't waste over here. So I'm going to use the Chronics Auto Open heat press today. Now, one of the great things about this press is the threadability aspect of it. So as you can see, when I put the t-shirt on there, you've got the top half of the t-shirt, which is the side that we're going to fuse the transfer to, and then underneath you've got the rest of the t-shirt hanging completely out of the way. This just means that you don't have two layers affecting the pressure, you're not going to get any unwanted like creases in there, and it just means you can get a completely clean, flat surface with your transfer. The second tip I'm going to give you is make sure that you don't have your seams and collars on the platen like this. You want to make sure that they just fall off so that the only pressure readout that you're getting is from the actual layer of the t-shirt you want the transfer to adhere to. Step number one is to pre-press your t-shirt. So as you can see, the back of this t-shirt currently has a lot of creases in it, which we want to get rid of before we put the transfer on. So I'm just going to give it between 3 and 5 seconds is fine for a pre-press. I think this one's set to 3 today. So load the t-shirt on, make sure it's straight, and then just bring the press down for 3 seconds. And the great thing about this one is that when it's finished, it opens for you, so you don't have to do it yourself, which is great. Now that just opened on 3 seconds. We don't have to touch the settings on this to get it to go to the next setting, which is 10 seconds for the actual transfer fuse. The reason for that is because the Hotronix Auto Open Press has dual timers, so you can set one timer and then follow up with another without having to flick between temperature settings, which is fantastic when it comes to saving time, and time is money when you're a heat printer. So we're just going to place our transfer. This is the exact same one, I've just pre-cut it out so that we're not fusing two. Place it onto the t-shirt. And screen print transfers are a cold peel heat transfer. So we're going to place what we call release paper onto the press with it. Now you can use release paper. We have other types of cover sheets as well if you need for like different garments, like we have thicker ones if need be. But if you're just fusing onto everyday cotton t-shirts and sweatshirts, release paper is fine. Place that over the top of the transfer, and what this is going to do is prevent the carrier on the transfer from lifting before you want it to. So because it's a cold peel, we don't want to risk the carrier coming up when it's still warm and when the press pops open. So this will just make sure that it stays where it should be. Pull the press down, and that's counting down from 10 seconds, which is perfect. And the pressure is at a 6, which is the higher end of medium pressure. So medium pressure is 4 to 6 on Hotronix heat presses. So we'll just remove that, and because this is a cold peel transfer, we're going to let it go completely cold before we peel it. So while I wait for this to go cold, do we have any questions on StreamYard or anything else?
We've had a question come in asking how many colours you can use on a screen printed transfer.
So with screen transfers, let me pop this down. So with screen printed heat transfers, you can use up to 5 colours, but from a cost point of view, we recommend 3. As soon as you start using more than 3 colours, it becomes cheaper to use a different print method, which is the hybrid transfer, which we're going to talk about next. So you technically can do 1 to 5 single block colours with this. It's also worth noting that you can't do like gradients and blends and things. It's literally just single block colours like this. But we'll touch on if you want to do more than 3 colours and the most cost-effective transfer next. That's the next one we're going to talk about. Any other questions? Perfect, okay. Right, so taking our transfer. Now, it's really important when you peel transfers that you don't stop halfway. It's really important to do one quick, swift motion so that your transfer is all nice and clean when it's done. So I'm just going to take from one corner to the next, one rip, and as you can see there, there's nothing left on that carrier sheet. It's all on the t-shirt. So there's the one we did earlier, there's the one we did now. But as you can see on here, this is such a soft, thin finish on this t-shirt, like it just looks like it should be on there. Really, really nice, really, really comfortable to wear as well. You don't want to be providing your customers with things that feel heavy and uncomfortable and bulky and things like that. So this is transfer printing method number 1. Okay, moving on. Next we have our hybrid transfers, which are a mixture of digital heat transfers and screen printed transfers, which we've just covered. These are the most popular transfer in the UK because of the amount of colour, gradient and details that you can get within that design. And then they're also the most profitable. So for the person asking about which one is best to use and how many colours you can use, if you're using between 1 and 3, go for screen. If you're using over 3, choose this hybrid technology. So the next one is, I have an example sheet, where is it? So this is an A3 sheet example, but as you can see here, we've got a nice gradient blend of colours in there, some really fine detail. Now this is our hybrid screen technology. Now I've pre-cut one of the transfers here so I can show you how to fuse it. This one is also a cold peel transfer, so if you do have any questions, let me know. And while we're waiting for this one to cool, I can answer them. But before we do that, let's talk about the actual fuse settings of this transfer. So we're going to take a black t-shirt this time so that the colours really pop. And we're going to move over to the next heat press, which is also an auto open, just a different size. And we've preset them all to the right setting so that you didn't have to wait while the heat press is heated up and cooled down in between transfers. So again, same principle, we're going to open up the t-shirt and thread it onto the press so that we're just isolating the one area. Trying to do this from the side is not the best method. There we go. So again, making sure that all of the seams and the collars are off. We're going to give it a pre-press once again. This one's set to a pressure of between 4 and 5, it's flickering between, so that's fine. This one is actually set to 120 degrees. That's another thing about this heat transfer, is that it's the lowest fusing temperature transfer, which when it comes to things like the amount of electricity that your press draws and the cost and your overheads and everything like that for your business, this is a very economical one to choose. Also, it's a lot more profitable because you can get all of the colours and charge a bit more for something like this. This is also a great transfer when it comes to make sure that's straight on there. Just going to grab my release paper. So like I say, this one is also a cold peel transfer. So we're just going to place the release paper down again. And the other thing that's good about Ultracolour is because it fuses at 120, if you have garments that are sensitive to heat, or even just plain black t-shirts can sometimes have a bit of a scorch if you are fusing with too high a pressure or too high a temp. Fusing at 120 is a really, really great temperature for anything from like t-shirts through to like activewear and athleisure we've been fusing on recently. The transfers that we opt for are always Ultracolour because we know that they're the lowest fusing temperature. So going to remove that and let it cool before we peel it, but there's the just hot off the press close up for you. Do we have any questions about the hybrid transfer while we're waiting for it to cool? No, we don't?
No, but Alan is still with us. He was with us on the previous live stream.
Hello, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for bearing with us, Alan. We have sorted the sound out now. Just looking through the comments.
Okay, so whilst we wait for this one to cool, I'm just going to do, for anyone that's joined the live that wasn't here at the beginning, a second plug for the Global Masterclass that is happening in just over 2 weeks. This is the biggest decoration education event. It's going to be worldwide. We've got everyone involved. So you need to make sure to go to stylesmasterclass.com and learn more and get your tickets for that, because it's going to be one of the biggest events of the year. This is still a little bit warm. Now with Ultracolour, you want it to be super, super cold. So even meaning like peeling it 2 to 5 minutes after you've pressed it. So I'm going to place it down and then we're going to move on to the last transfer type, and then we'll peel this when she's ready because we don't want to rush it. Okay. The final transfer type I want to talk about today is DTF. Now this is, or direct to film as it's otherwise known. This is a very popular transfer at the moment. It's one that everyone's talking about. If you're in the print industry, you've probably seen and heard about this a lot over the last 6 months, year, something like that. So this is a great transfer when it comes for short runs and smaller quantity orders. So there are a few things that you need to look out for when purchasing direct-to-film heat transfers. The first one is making sure that they are a hot peel. So this transfer is a hot peel transfer. And it just means that you're saving time when it comes to, you know, if you're just doing a couple of runs, you don't want to have them sitting there waiting. You want to just press them, peel them, and have them shipped off. So making sure you're looking for a hot peel. The second one you want to make sure is, can everyone hear me okay? I feel like I'm buffering slightly. Oh, okay, cool. The second one to look for is the second press. So quite a few DTF transfers, the application instructions that I've seen are that you have to fuse it, peel it, and then fuse it again, which isn't necessary. There's no reason for that to be the case. If your instructions for your DTF transfers are to press them twice, then I would steer clear from that transfer because it's probably not the best one. And then the next one is the temperature that they apply to. I've seen quite a few that apply at temperatures around sort of north of 160, and they're just scorching the garments and they're drawing so much electricity to the press, it's just not necessary. So these transfers fuse at 145, so smack bang in the middle of our Hybrid Ultra and our screen print. And that's a good temperature when it comes to applying transfers because it doesn't scorch the garment, it's an economical choice. So now we're going to fuse this one, and as you can see in today's DTF transfer, we've got a lot of detail going on in there. So, I'm going to, Beth, actually, can you see if we've got another black t-shirt? I would fuse onto the other side of this, but I don't want to get it warm. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, we'll steal the one from the masterclass package. So another black t-shirt, just again, so I can show you the colours of this because it really does pop. And we're going to move over to the press over here because this one is set to the 145 degrees that it should be. I think we're going to have to, where is it? Okay, so we are going to pre-press this garment as usual. So 3 seconds, that's on a pressure of 3, which once we put the transfer and the release paper on there, you will see that come up to a 4. That's how sensitive and really, really reliable the Hotronics pressure readouts are. So release paper under there, pull it down, and that's gone straight up to a 4, which is medium pressure, which is perfect for ultra direct film. So this one will also auto open when it's done. And because this is a hot peel transfer, I can straight away pull that off. As you can see, there's nothing on that carrier sheet at all. And here is our finished transfer. Oh, see if I can hold it up the right way around, would be good, wouldn't it? There we go. There is your finished direct to film transfer. So the detail in that is ridiculous. The tiny, tiny text that it can achieve, and the colours as well. So this is also unlimited colours, which is fabulous. So now we've talked through all of the different transfer types, we're going to discuss which ones you should be using for your business and when. So if you're printing something that's less than 10 units in one colour, so not 1 to 3, just plain 1, then you should opt for heat transfer vinyl, which is something we haven't fused in today's video, but we can talk more about if you have any questions. There's lots of information on our website, and essentially that is when you buy a roll of vinyl and then you cut the design yourself. So that's the most effective way to do that. If you're doing more than 10 units of single colours of 1 to 3, then the best option is our screen printed transfers, which is the first one that we fused. If you're doing less than 10 units of full colour, then you should opt for our DTF transfers. And if you're doing more than 10, then you should use ultra colour, full colour, the hybrid transfer. So how can you manufacture these transfers and prove to your customers that you have the best product on the market? The leading brands across the world, like the NFL, the NBA, FC Barcelona, and other big brands, get Stahl's to do their transfers for them. So if you want long-lasting, highly detailed products, then you need to get the same product as these brands. Transfers built with our bespoke systems in custom factories, with the UK hub being here in the UK, so you can get your transfers from us. If you were to print transfers yourself in-house, then you have to get a warehouse, you're going to have to get people to staff it, which is expensive. It's going to cost you a lot of money and take you away from growing your business and getting those jobs in that are going to make you money. So we have taken that on upon ourselves and have everything you need to get these transfers. So we're just going to talk a bit more about the pricing of them as well. So let's talk DTF to start with. So say you're ordering between 1 to 5 or 10 single unit transfers. If you were to order 10 sheets of A4 direct to film, that's £6.54 per sheet, so per A4 sheet. If you order 100 sheets of A4, that comes to £4.28. So already that's a 37% discount from the original cost. So that's a big difference just in ordering a higher volume. Now, but that's with DTF, which we told you not to do. We said if it's above 10, you should switch to hybrid. So cost-wise, for standard Ultracolour, 10 sheets is £5.25 per sheet. Of A4, same size. So to recap, DTF was £6.54, Ultracolour is £5.25 per sheet. 100 sheets of Ultracolour, bearing in mind 100 sheets of DTF was £4.28. 100 sheets of Ultracolour is £1.92, so that's a massive difference in terms of how much you're paying per sheet for your transfers. And it gets even better than that. If you are doing a larger run job and you need, say, 500 sheets of Ultracolour, £1.32 per sheet is the cost, so it drops even more. So that's why we say Ultracolour, the hybrid transfer, is the best one to choose for volume, because the more you order, the lower the price is. So it's the most profitable way to order transfers. And if you're ordering more than one design per sheet, you're also reducing your cost per transfer and increasing the amount of profit you make per sheet. So that's something that we call a gang sheet, which we can touch on later, but you should all be using them if you're not already. We do have a few other videos on our YouTube channel explaining these, so about the different transfer types, about gang sheets, and about pricing. So if you want to check out any of those for a bit more detail, then make sure to head up to our YouTube channel. So now that we've done all the fusing, we've run through all of the transfers, do we have any further questions before I manoeuvre on? No, we do not. Fabulous. Now we're going to hand over to Andy, who's going to show you exactly how you can order these transfers online. So really, really simple. It's so easy. You can get any of these 3 transfers and it's all done online. So take it away, Andy.
Thank you very much, Molly. And apologies again to everyone for the issues with the audio earlier. It's been fixed now and we won't have to worry about that again. But just to reiterate what Molly said as well, is that if you want to be a garment decorator, you want to be one of the best garment decorators, it's always good to stick to the core principles of your business, and that's why we always recommend people making the most of the EasyView system, because it does a lot of this transfer work for you. It makes your life easier and it allows you to concentrate on sales and marketing. That's where you can really add value to your business, is by getting more business in. That's why it's always best to let someone like Styles, Target Transfers, do the heavy lifting with the heat transfers. Let us have the factory, let us have the people in it, let us figure out the new system so you can bring more business into your company. That's the best thing to do. But to get started, it's super, super easy. And the great thing is the turnaround of these is so quick. The Ultracolour Max Direct to Film will ship next working day, and the Ultracolour and the screen will also ship within 2 days. So it's rapid turnaround. So it's like we are essentially your factory. So you get them so quick, and you can even come and collect them if you really, really want a fast turnaround. All you need to do is go to custom.targettransfers.com. Then you've got the 3 options here that Molly's gone through with you today. So she's told you what to pick when. So obviously if you've got one colour, then this is the one you want. If you have more than 3 colours, you want this one. And if you're just doing short run stuff, the Ultracolour Max is perfect for you. I'm going to pick Ultracolour today, so you can see exactly what Molly meant about this pricing. So there's lots of different layouts available. So you've got 8 different layouts here, depending on what you want to produce. All of these are available as gang sheets, so you can put as many transfers as you want onto these. They're not just a single transfer layout, and there's no extra charge for doing that. All you need to do is find your layout, add a design, and these for Ultracolour, it's EPS, PNG, JPEG, and PDF. for 1 to 5 color screen, it is EPS, SVG and PDF. So let's pick one of these ultra color designs, and you just pop it on here and just add as many as you could possibly want. So you can see minimum order of 10 on ultra color. Ultra color max is just 1, that's the shorter runs. For the bigger volume products here though, like Molly said, if you just keep changing the number, 25, you can see it's gone down from £5.25 to £3.11. Change it to 50, it's gone to £2.77. So it's really quick to get price breaks. So just by ordering 50, you pretty much brought your price down by half. And again, 100 A4s is £1.92. So that's how you become a volume transfer manufacturer. You get the you basically outsource to your factory, which is Target Transfers in Braintree and Essex. So that way you can get the leading transfers to your customers, so you've got a long-lasting product, and if you're using a good heat press like the Auto Open, you can have a perfect product that's going to last wash after wash, will last a lifetime of the garment, and it's going to ensure that you get repeat business. And if we were to add even more designs onto here, it's not just going to be £1.92 at that point, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So let's add one of these onto here. So now we've got 2 on here. It's not just £1.92, it's half of that. That's how you're coming down straight away. So let's add a few more onto here. That way you can just keep bringing that price down and down and down, and your profit is going to increase every single order you make that way. So now we've got 3. So now the price has gone down to 60p a transfer. We add another one on there. We can keep going here. We can keep adding and adding and adding, and you can see how quickly it loads them up. So now we've gone to 4, so we're looking at less than 50p. We're looking at about 49p per transfer. And if you factor in the cost of a £3 or £4 t-shirt, then you can really have a really profitable factory that way. So let's add a few more in. Let's do some neck labels. So now we've got 5 in here, and this is really easy. You can see you can just keep building and building the sheet, and like I said, there's not going to be a hidden charge when you check out. You can just keep adding these in to your heart's content. So now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's still room on this gang sheet to build even more. And you can copy, you can paste it, so you can just keep adding and adding more. So even if you've got enough designs for your actual job, I'd always encourage you to keep adding more in. That way you can just make the most of it. You've got spares, you've got ones, if that customer comes back to you and wants a couple of extra ones, again, you're ready for them. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on here already, and you could fit a few more in here if you're clever. Just make sure you build a nice grid system so they're easy to cut out, so you're not wasting your time cutting transfers out. Then all you have to do is click buy. Just like that, you've got heat transfers on tap, the world's leading heat transfers. These are specially developed systems by the group style. These are exactly the same systems that we give to the biggest brands, and we want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to become a big brand and start from the day one with the best heat transfers. So that's all there is to it. Really, really easy to get started and really, really easy to do it. So that is simply how you become a transfer manufacturer. You let the artwork dictate the product that you need, and then you just head to custom.targettransfers.com, select the product you need, select the quantity and the size layout, and just like that, you are becoming a profitable heat transfer manufacturer. So unless we've got any other questions, yep, let's go for it. What have we got?
Alan is asking, will the system automatically work out the size of transfer for each size of garment?
So that comes down to you and what your size of your garment is, because we've got customers doing every single type there is. It could be t-shirts, hoodies, it could be bags, it could be shoes, but we make it very easy for you. So when you've designed the product, or when a customer specified this to you, they'll give you a very specific dimension. So when I click on here now, you can see it tells them exactly what size this is. So if the design's supposed to be 5 by 5, you just change the number, so you can see very clearly, change it to 4, again, very clearly what your design is. So exactly what you put on here, we will print to your specification every single time. And if you go over the edge, we'll let you know. If you make the image too big and it gets blurry and it's not going to look good, we'll let you know too. So there's everything in here you need. So like I say, the sizing is all here. Just change it to be what you want it to be, and it'll be exactly that size when it arrives with you 2 days later. Okay, well, unless we have any other questions, I'm sure there's a few of you that will catch up later today. So again, we apologise for the audio issues that we had there. That will be rectified for next week. And again, as Molly mentioned, okay, someone's just start. We've got another question before we finish. We just have Sarah. How secure is this server? And if we upload things we've designed ourselves, is this secure? This is very secure, Sarah. So the design area of this, so when you log in, you have access to your designs, and only you have access to these designs. We're not keeping these designs for ourselves. This is your design. This is a commercial design system, so that this is very secure. No one else can access your artwork. And it will stay on there as long as you keep logging in every 50 days. The artwork will stay there, otherwise it will just be removed because we assume that you don't want it. But it's absolutely secure, and this is the only place like this where everyone can order heat transfers. It's open to everyone. There's no minimum orders you have to get to have access to this point. You can get from day one. You can have this professional service. One more question actually is from David James Coxall. Can you purchase multiple designs to get the same quantity discount, or does each gang sheet need to be the same? Each gang sheet needs to be the same, but of course you can put as many designs as you want onto there. So we do have an A3 layout as well, so you can get many of that design on there, and you can put multiples of the same design, so you can make the gang sheets and the layouts work for you, so that way you can get those multiple designs just like that, really nice and easy. And you can be appropriate with your business. Because if it's a repeat order and you just fill up the space with a design you're likely to do again, because that means you can store these in a bag in a nice, cool, dry place. And if in a month's time that customer comes back to you with another order, you just take them off the shelf and fuse straight away, and you could even turn around that day if you really wanted to. So we have put a link in the comments for the Styles Masterclass that Molly mentioned to you earlier. This is, if you joined us today, you must join us on the 27th of September. This is the biggest virtual event of all time in the history of garment decorating. So it's really essential that you join us, because this is the best education schedule that we've ever put together as an international group. And I'm going to be really excited to see lots of you there, and we're going to be really bringing our A game to make sure that the audio will be perfect on every single talk, but the talk presentations I've already seen a sneak preview of, and they've got some really great values, some things that we've never talked about before, and some brand new tips and techniques, not just for the actual application, but for how to make the most of your business. So really encourage everyone to schedule time in their day to join us live for that, because it'll be really worth it. Okay, well, thank you very much, Molly. That was really interesting, and we'll see you all next week.